Welcome back to Phoenix Radio, brought to you by Giovannino, JF Navarra and Co, S&J Couture Candles, Balmain, Tony Moe here from Merck Capital and Visit Your Hotels. My name is Celeste Marachi and I'm your co-host, and I'm here with Mr. Giovannino Navarra.
Hey Celeste, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
It's a beautiful Christmas season, isn't it?
It is.
It's really nice.
Very
Again, I really love what you're wearing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Interesting subject I like to talk about. I've been in the wedding industry since 1973 as a little boy, working at the Conqueror Lounge along with my parents, and I've seen a really big difference when it comes to the brides themselves. I remember the old wedding dresses were very religious. The way the brides were presented with all this white material, over fluffed, in many cases. Overwhelming. Some of the brides, I remember some of the weddings during the summertime, they were so hot they would perspire. So many brides would, in some cases, would actually faint. However, that was the 70s. During the 80s, I found a little bit more, it was a little bit more relaxed, nicer materials. The brides themselves wouldn't be so hot, but I didn't like the shoulder pad look. I must admit, it wasn't really my thing. However, I was just working in the event, so I just wanted to make sure everyone had a great time.
Yeah.
In the 90s, I saw the simplistic look, which I thought was really nice, where the dresses were contoured to the way the bride looked, and noticed that the brides were a lot more comfortable. A lot of them were wearing their head, the veil on their hair.
Yeah.
And then you had the year 2000 where everything just changed. And there's a very good friend of mine that I like to call up, I believe, the best wedding stylist in the world, Mr. Steven Khalil, and I was just wondering if I'd like to invite him to the show to let's talk to him, if that's okay with you.
I would love that. I love Steven Khalil and all of his designs.
All right. So Celeste,
Yes.
I'm so excited. I have Mr. Steven Khalil on the phone. He's a very personal friend of mine.
Yay.
And now Steven is actually my friend. I'm not a female. I don't need a wedding dress. Don't need to dress like but I know every girl's dream is to have that beautiful, perfect wedding dress on a wedding day. So I invite Mr. Steven Khalil to the phone. Hello, Steven.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. For having me on your radio show, which I never knew you had, which is very exciting.
It just started. It's just early stages. This is probably our fifth show that we're doing right now. So it's more of a community service, an informative guide to see. It's called Phoenix Radio. It's just. Yeah, coming up from me re-entering the wedding industry, and I wanted to do this is sort of stuff that I always wanted to do over the last 10 to 15 years, and now that is the time to do it. I have a fantastic co-host called Celeste Marachi. She's actually helping me. The reason why I have Celeste, she's a young Italian girl, brought up in Australia, and she has all these wonderful ideas, and she's very learned and she's very intelligent, and she's helped me coordinate this show because people rather listen to her than listen to me. So, so Celeste.
Hi, Celeste.
Hi, Steven. How are you? You too. How are you going?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would love to just pick your brain about the wedding industry and wedding dresses and kind of just get your opinion on a few things. Do you just want to
amazing.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself and your career as a wedding dress designer?
Yeah, well, I started. I've been in wedding gowns now for 30 years.
Wow.
And I started with the passion for design and dressmaking from the age of 7. And I studied design and fashion all throughout my teens and into my early 20s. And then, and it just exploded into my own brand. And here I am, I suppose. Yeah. So it's been definitely a labor of love. It's been something that's been going for many years. So it's not just a thing that just happened.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of years of work and dedication.
We are very proud of you, Stephen, because for a person coming from Sydney and coming from, your background and to where you got to the runways of, in France and LA and your labels are in David Jones and, Grace Brothers and, you should be so proud of yourself. However, you're very humble. Celeste, do you want to ask him any questions? Because I don't know.
Well, I am from very humble beginnings, John. So yes. I carry that humility with me every day.
You do.
Because, like, we're all just to be grateful for the God-given gift that we have and get to work with it every day,
Our faith and inspiration. Now, where do you get your inspiration? This is more of a Celeste question, but I want to know where you get the inspiration, because you really shocked the industry, especially around, I would say about 18 years ago, when I started to see your designs incorporated into the weddings, where I walk in, I'm going, wow, this is different. And I had no idea about design and designers. And please, is there a better way you want to ask that question?
No, that's a great way. What is your inspiration?
But, a lot of it just comes from, I take a lot of inspiration from the past. I definitely love history, but I also love adding a little bit of a modern touch to the gowns. But to me, my brand does represent a very classic aesthetic and very romantic. And I just think that I think a bride should look like a true bride, because it's one moment in your time to be a real bride. And I think my inspiration comes from anything that's romantic and just classic and beautiful, I think.
It's so beautiful, and it really does make the day for the brides.
It does.
I noticed that one thing you were talking about, fabrics, Celeste. So tell me about little textures and fabrics. Do you want to go?
Yeah, so I was just going to say, how would you recommend that a bride chooses their perfect wedding gown in relation to the fabrics and the design and things like that?
I always say to the brides to always carry with them their own true sense of style, and how they dress every day, that should reflect into their wedding dress. I always say to the girls, don't go picking a dress that looks great on somebody on Instagram. Like, pick a gown that shows who you are and reflects your personal style.
Yeah. And what about for the ladies that have, more of like a fuller figure? How do you cater for that? And what advice would you give to them for the day?
I think with anything, if the dress fits beautifully and it's made beautifully for your body, that anybody can wear, like, anything, that we don't take that into consideration. Every dress, it's just about helping every girl find their dream dress. Doesn't matter what body shape they are. But it's definitely, we don't factor. We just, as long as the bride is comfortable in her dress and if she feels good in it, I always say to the girls, when it's made for your body, it's going to look beautiful. We're going to make it flattering. It's going to suit you. So it's my job to make it work for them.
And have you seen a change in the color of wedding dresses over the years? Because I know that there was a stage where girls were going for like a black dress or a beige dress or something different. Have you seen a change in that?
I have, because I think now girls are in their classic era. They want white wedding dresses again. We don't get many coloured dresses anymore.
Yeah,
we went through a stage where we were doing a lot of silver and nude coloured wedding dresses.
Okay,
and I think it's become a bit old school now. The brides are going less beading, more minimalistic, more working with textures of fabric, and definitely a lot more clean whites. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that next, because I have noticed that, there was a stage where everyone wanted like the full glam dress with the beads and the diamantes and the sequences all over it. But I actually feel that now it has become, again, very minimalistic. And
yeah, definitely.
The girls just want, a plain white dress that, shows off their personality, which at the end of the day is...
They need to be comfortable.
It is, exactly.
They need to be comfortable. And that's what I find.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to feel so sorry for some of the brides who would come in and they would go for that suction cup look, and I thought, it doesn't seem cup. It was a suction. I'm a guy here, suction cup look.
Is that like buff cups you're talking about?
I'd really got no idea. Listen, but it was just when the Cinderella movie came out, I just noticed something started changing, and I was really happy how you evolved with that, Steven. I started seeing a difference in the brides John. Coming through, where the brides was, it's a way of presenting yourself in front of your the love of your life, and you present yourself in many cases in front of God, and that's the way you should be dressed, because you're dressed in front of royalty. And a lot of people that get married in a church, you should be dressed in a way that's actually respectful to the place to go to where they're having the ceremony. Especially you have your mother-in-law there. Your mother, your parents, the father. You have to dress a certain way, because it's a holy sacrament, or it's a vow of love, and that's what they have to project. So that's what do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No.
Now, about manufacturing, has anything happened in Sydney, Australia? Look, are there any new textile factories? Are anybody making anything Australian-made, or you find you still have to go overseas to find the textures that really suit the new wave of the look for the future? Where do you get your inspiration?
Look, in all honesty, we aren't manufacturing much in Australia anymore. We obviously still manufacture our gowns in Australia, but all of our materials are offshore, all of our threads, pins, buttons, loops. Like, it's just sad that Australia is not a manufacturing country, because we'd have so much more work for people, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense, because we should have a signature label on Australia, what we can actually produce. However, it's sort of sad.
We used to do all wool. We used to be a wool making country, and the government's just pulled the plug on everything.
Yeah. Which is sort of sad, because you're an Australian icon, and we're very proud to have you as an Australian. And
Thank you, John.
And I know it'd be so much easier for you just to pack up and move overseas and work from France or anywhere around the world. But you're a great Australian. You still believe in Australia, and you're very humbled to be here to continue moving forward with your design and styles.
Yeah.
And now people are not interested in hearing that. Brides want to hear more about you, Stephen. Where do you get your inspiration? What's the next? What's coming up next? What do you feel what's happening? So,
well, we'll be showing in New York again. We're just in the early stages of finalising Mercedes Benz Fashion Week in Melbourne. They've offered us a beautiful independent show. So we'll be doing that, and just a lot of new things. We're doing shoes coming up. Just a lot of new great things. Yeah, so it's really exciting.
Amazing. I actually have a question, probably from more of a bride's point of view. Obviously, the dresses are custom made, and acquiring the textiles from overseas. What would be an expected turnaround time? Well, when should brides start looking for their wedding dress?
I would say 10 to 12 months prior to the wedding.
Wow. Okay, there's a lot.
Yeah, 10 months is
lot
good.
Of planning.
But by the time. Yeah, and by the time we get those fabrics and we start the work, it's months in the making.
Yeah.
And with consultation, do you suggest the bride comes in with her parents, or with a mum or mother-in-law, or with her bridesmaids, or do you recommend that she comes on her own first?
She often comes with her mother and a couple of her girlfriends.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes the grandmother.
Yeah.
And just for you, because I personally haven't been to your store yet, do you have examples in the store of wedding dress designs?
We have we have 2 levels of boutique, full of gowns and showroom.
Stunning.
That's amazing. And I like the fact that you still try and be personally involved with the brides in the consultation, and you see something within the brides that people probably don't see. And I love the fact that you try and tell the bride to be you. And that's the idea with weddings today. Try and be you. You don't have to. It's not a competition. It's about being you, and it's a special day in your life. Is there anything else you want to leave us with, Stephen? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
5 years' time, maybe living between Australia and another country. I'd love another boutique somewhere, and just hopefully a bigger, better version of who I am now.
You are bigger and better, Stephen. You are bigger and better. Can we edit that part out?
No, can you leave that in? That was really good.
I said, you are. Sorry.
What's wrong with that?
All right, leave it in. Okay. Anyway, Stephen, love, I thank you very much for being.
What's wrong with that?
You fine? Okay. Do we leave it in or we don't leave it in?
Leave it in.
I think a better version of myself.
Okay, you
John,
are.
what are you thinking about?
I wasn't thinking
Take
anything.
it out of the gutter, John.
Okay,
Take it out of the gutter.
Okay, Stephen. But any other questions that any other question from your point of view? Because you're in your early 30s. Celeste, was I allowed to say that? You're in your early 30s. So what else would you say?
I know I don't look 30, but yes, I am.
You look about 27. But tell me anything else that if you're going to have your wedding, and obviously when the time for you to get married, obviously you will be going to Steven Khalil, and that's your inspirational designer. That's the person you believe in. And what's your expectancy? What are the sort of fears that would a bride today have when she's going to see somebody at this magnanimous person as Steven Khalil? How would you feel going into his showroom? What's your expectation?
Well, I think I would be overwhelmed in a great way going to see Steven Khalil. I think one of the most things that I would personally be anxious about would be your weight loss and weight gain within that 10 to 12 month period. Because
yeah, and in all honesty, Celeste, I think every girl does worry about losing weight or putting on weight. They do worry about that part of the process. I think it's a very legitimate fear, because the girls worry that we're going to abandon them if they lose all this weight, or if they put on some weight and then the dress is not going to fit.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fear, but we monitor the girls right to the end.
And I think that's a very calming sentiment, because I know not just for me, it's females in general. Like, our weight does go up and down. Yeah. It fluctuates.
Yeah, absolutely. And with all the weight loss stuff going on at the moment, brides are coming in a completely different body weight. And we're like, oh my God, like we have to refit this whole gown.
Yeah.
So, And
sorry, I think in also saying that, another one of my fears would be the change in trends from when I come in to what I pick to what may be at the end of that 10 to 12 month period. How do you...
Sorry, say that again.
No, that's okay.
Sorry, my clients are at the door now. I'll just... sorry, say that again.
No, that's okay. Let's just wrap this up for the day, because I think,
Listen, Stephen, congratulations for you. You're an Australian icon, and I recommend Velcro. It was at the end of the beautiful wedding night, the bride looking so beautiful. I think we should demand better access for the bride instead of trying to do those little buttons.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
thank you,
Stephen.
John.
All right, listen, all the best to you. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. God bless, okay?
Guys,
thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry that I didn't answer your last question, but I could have, but it's okay.
No, answer the question. Answer the question if you want to.
I was just going to say the change in trends from when the bride first comes in until, the dress is finished 10 months later. I think that would be another fear of mine. Do you find that a lot of brides may change their design along the way?
Yes, but a lot of the brides now, they realise that they can't order a wedding dress the last minute.
Yeah.
So they've got to put FOMO aside and fall in love with a dress and just stick to it. Because now with the changing social media economy, like girls are so fearful of picking a dress because they're scared of something else that they're going to see on Instagram or something new is going to come around.
Yeah.
And but they do know that they've got to be prepared, and that they're at fear of not having a wedding dress if they don't pick one soon enough.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
All right. All the best to you, Stephen.
You're welcome, Celeste.
Have a great Christmas.
You're welcome, Mr. Navarro.
You too, guys.
Thanks,
Take it
guys.
easy.
All the best. God bless. Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
God bless you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Well, I think that wraps up our show today. That was a very exciting guest. I love Steven and I love his designs. So I'll definitely be going to see him soon. Well, thank you again for joining Phoenix Radio, which has been brought to you by Giovannino J.F. Navarra and Co., S&J Couture Candles in Balmain, Tony Mohi from Merck Capital, and Visit Your Hotels.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.